After a day off from reporting, county health officials released new coronavirus case numbers, and they are not good. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Steve Price.
And I'm Alicia Summers. Let's get right to it. The first numbers we have are from Friday. There were more than 7,300 tests reported, and about 6% of them, or 468, were positive. Then yesterday, testing went up to nearly 8,100, but so did cases. 562 were positive, or about 7%.
There are now 16,726 total cases out of more than 381,000 tests. So that brings the 14-day rolling average up to 5.6%. That continues our upward climb. The good news, though, over the weekend, we had no deaths reported.
San Diego County was put on the state's watch list on Friday, and since things aren't improving locally, but more restrictions are expected to go into effect this week.
Yeah, among the hardest hit by the severe restrictions are our restaurants, and some are surviving by making adjustments, but it's not foolproof, and some have been forced to shut down. News 8's Steve Fiorina visited Kaminsky's Barbecue in Poway to see how they're coping.
It's been a tough spring and summer for Kaminsky's Barbecue in Poway, and it's likely to get tough again. Pickup may be the only option.
A sports bar with gourmet barbecue, but almost no sports to be found on TV, and only small groups of customers scattered around as compared to the crowds before COVID.
You know, it's a roller coaster ride.
Kaminsky's is a favorite in Poway, but traffic through the door is down dramatically, so they make adjustments.
You just have to be always looking for the pickup shifts. You really don't know what your schedule is going to be like. You just have to be available and be ready to work any job at any time.
Some tables are marked off and not to be served. There is constant cleaning.
We're following the guidelines, social distancing, doing the sanitation part of it, mostly because we want to keep our staff safe and our clientele safe.
Customers have been faithful and understanding. Kevin Krogstad and his daughter stopped by for breakfast after a run in the park.
I feel I owe it to these restaurants to keep supporting them. They've been here for my family. This is a place where we come and we feel comfortable all the time. We're treated very nicely. I've never had a bad experience here.
Waiters and servers are very appreciative of the more generous tips they've been seeing since the pandemic hit. But it's still difficult making ends meet.
It's still much less than we used to do when we're open, and a lot of the staff are really feeling that. Awesome. I got your food right here.
So the uncertainty continues. Kaminsky's has been on the roller coaster so long already, and there are more ups and downs coming.
Failure's not an option for us, as our family's been here since 1965. I'm the third generation here, and it's not going to end on my watch, no matter what.
Thank you.
One bright spot for Kaminsky's is the Great Meals program. They deliver 3 meals per day to 50 seniors with some health issues. Program ends, though, this week. They're hoping for an extension. Back to you.
Yeah, an extension would be nice, Steve. Thanks. Right now, because of the pandemic, several popular 4th of July fireworks shows were canceled around the county. So some residents took matters into their own hands and set off illegal fireworks. But as News 8's Monique Griego explains, a man in the South Bay, frustrated by all the noise, allegedly pulled a gun on his neighbors and ended up in jail. Monique?
Typically, people would come down here to the harbor for the Big Bay Boom, but this year, because of the pandemic, the fireworks show was canceled, and that led to a lot of at-home fireworks being set off. And in Chula Vista, that led to an incident with a family being threatened with a gun. With the typical fireworks shows being canceled in San Diego County or adjusted for at-home viewing,
Enjoy the show.
The illegal kind were going off all over Southern California. This video taken near Los Angeles shows fireworks being set off all over the city, almost all of them illegal, and San Diego County also saw its fair share.
There were fireworks or suspected fireworks going off all over the city.
Lieutenant Scott Atkins is with the Chula Vista Police Department.
It's illegal to point a weapon at people, regardless of why you're doing it.
He told News 8 about one family setting them off illegally in the streets, who were then confronted by a neighbor armed with a gun.
A report of a male pointing a rifle at a family who were lighting off fireworks near his residence.
Come to the front door.
Officers responded and arrested the neighbor.
He was found to be in possession of an unloaded older rifle. He was arrested, taken into custody.
But that was just one of numerous calls law enforcement officers responded to due to illegal fireworks in the city. And while the holiday is now over, they know people may still want to pop off the leftovers, which is a misdemeanor crime, that being only part of the warning.
Well, there's a lot of health and safety reasons. They're dangerous. Fireworks, you don't really know who's producing them, where they've been manufactured, damage that they can do to the human body if they explode near a person. They can start fires. There's a lot of various reasons that they're dangerous.
And at last check with Chula Vista Police, the man who allegedly threatened the family with a gun remains in jail. He is being charged with assault with a deadly weapon. Monique Riego, News 8.
And it's a sad part of every 4th of July. Pets frightened by fireworks, panicking and running away. That makes July 5th the busiest day of the year for the San Diego Humane Society. Despite most big fireworks displays being canceled, people, as you saw, set off illegal fireworks in neighborhoods, and that led to dozens of stray dogs and cats being brought in.
So far, we've taken in about 80 stray animals, and so far only about 8 have been reclaimed by their owners, and we expect that number to almost triple by the end of the day.
If your pet is missing, the Humane Society has a lost and found page on their website. For the link, go to the help button on CBS8.com.
Another reminder why microchipping is so important, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the beach crowds, well, not quite as big as many expected this July 4th weekend, but definitely still no holiday for the lifeguards out there.
An estimated 203,000 people were on San Diego beaches yesterday, but they reported 377 water rescues, up from 230 last year. They say this is due to strong surf that's hitting Southern California.
We had some strong rip currents, especially with the tide going out and some larger surf. We had about 5 to 7 foot surf, so that definitely made us busy. If you do get caught in a rip current, just don't panic. Swim parallel to shore and into the beach.
Lifeguards were also involved with just under 4,000 preventative acts and 35 medical aids yesterday. And it was much of the same today at local beaches, large crowds and strong rip currents. So what will the conditions be like for the week ahead?
Let's check in with meteorologist Sean Stiles. He joins us now with a first look at your microclimate forecast, and kind of saw some big waves for a change, and a lot of surfers have been waiting for them, Sean.
Yeah, the surf was pounding again today. That swell starting to fade just a little bit, still very strong out there, but the reason everyone's heading to the coastline is because of this. This is the time lapse from San Miguel Mountain through the afternoon, and as you can see, the marine layer non-existent. I mean, we had a few clouds at the coast that burned off by mid-morning, and because of that, temperatures were up a lot compared to yesterday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We use this time frame because typically between 1 and 3 in the afternoon is when the peak heat of the day comes, with the exception of Borrego. It can get up into the higher temperatures around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. But as you can see, everyone between 8, 9, even almost 10 degrees in Vista and Miramar, so definitely a lot warmer. Tomorrow we'll see some very warm temperatures again, 79 along the coastline, 76, and then 74 as a cooling trend starts to make its way into Southern California. Now I say a cooling trend, but 74 is the average for this time of year. Again, 93 in those inland microclimates, but you'll start to see some cooler weather by the time we get into the midweek. I'll have a look at that 8-day microclimate forecast and talk a little bit more about that big swell, how much longer it's going to stick around.
All right, thanks, Sean. We'll see you then. July 5th is the dirtiest day of the year on San Diego beaches.
Now, the Surfrider Foundation typically sponsors a massive group cleanup for today, but unfortunately, they had to cancel due to COVID. So instead, they're counting on volunteers to go out on their own and pick up the mess July 4th partiers left behind.
We're finding a lot of trash, fireworks, marshmallows, cigarette butts, and we can use all the help we need. So just come on down, wear your mask, bring some gloves, and pick up some trash.
If you do head out, volunteers asked to limit their groups to just their own household. And as you heard there, use gloves, wear a mask. Also, they're asking you to seal off any PPE separately from recyclables. And then when you're done, go ahead and weigh what you got so the total amount can be reported to Surfrider. Last year, they gathered 3,900 pounds of trash, and out in PB today, I saw several families out there doing that. Some little kids with the gloves and the mask picking up the trash. So
starting them young, it's a good thing to do.
It's a good habit. Yeah. Like Sean always says, if you bring it with you, take it when you go.
Leave only footprints, as they say.